Minnesota residents are going on strike. That's where we're starting the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell. It's Friday, January 23rd. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. In Minnesota today, businesses will close, union members will skip work, and residents will forego shopping. It's a significant economic protest against the Trump administration's deployment of federal agents in Minnesota. Residents and officials in Minnesota say agents have been detaining U.S. citizens, pulling people from their cars, and appearing to stop people on the basis of race. Agents have also shot 2 people, killing 1. And this week, an image of a 5-year-old boy held by ICE, Liam Conejo Ramos, went viral and fueled anger even further. A march is planned this afternoon in Minneapolis. Minnesota labor unions have endorsed the strike. Here's David Stiggers with the Amalgamated Transit Union Local 1005 speaking at a press conference on Monday.
Working people cannot stand aside while our neighbors are terrorized and our families are fractured. Because those are our families. Those are our neighbors. Those are us. They are us.
That audio comes from the Minnesota Star-Tribune on YouTube. Meanwhile, Vice President J.D. Vance visited Minneapolis yesterday. He defended the actions of ICE officers. And in a tonal switch, he said President Donald Trump had urged him to work with local leaders to, quote, turn down the chaos. President Trump rescinded Canada's invitation to join his Board of Peace. That's number 2. The White House has sent invitations to at least 50 countries to join the Board of Peace. Trump officials envisage it as a sweeping body intent on resolving global conflicts with a scope rivaling the United Nations. But it appears one nation that won't be joining is Canada. Late last night, Trump posted on Truth Social that he was rescinding Prime Minister Mark Carney's invitation to join the board. Trump didn't explain his reasoning, but the move follows a fiery speech from Carney in Davos, Switzerland this week. In his speech, Carney urged medium-sized powers like Canada to act together, saying, if we're not at the table, we're on the menu. That was seen as a veiled swipe at his American counterpart. Number 3. Former special counsel Jack Smith testified in Congress yesterday. Smith was the prosecutor who charged Trump in 2 felony indictments. The first focused on his alleged mishandling of classified documents, and the second on his efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Those cases were derailed after Trump won the 2024 election. Yesterday, Smith offered his first public testimony since then. And he offered a robust defense of his efforts to prosecute Trump.
I am not a politician, and I have no partisan loyalties. My career has been dedicated to serving our country by upholding the rule of law. Throughout my public service, my approach has always been the same. Follow the facts and the law without fear or favor.
Much of the hearing descended into a jousting match between Democrats and Republicans. Republicans tried to portray Smith as part of a broader Democratic conspiracy intent upon putting Trump and his allies in prison. Number 4. One of the biggest winter storms in years starts today. Around 202 million people across the country are currently under weather alerts for snow, ice, or extreme cold. The storm is developing over the Rockies and Plains today and will sweep the country west to east before it leaves the Northeast on Monday night. Over 4 days, potentially crippling ice will hit dozens of cities in a stretch from northern Texas to southern Virginia. That will likely cause tree damage and long-lasting power outages. North of that stretch from Oklahoma to Maine, people can expect 10 to 20 inches of powdery snow, making some roads impassable. And across the upper Midwest, wind chills today will nosedive to -40 to -55 degrees Fahrenheit. For a detailed city-by-city forecast of the weather and the Post's storm impact rating, click the link to our newsletter. You can find that, as always, in our show notes. The National Park Service removed a slavery exhibit in Philadelphia. That's our fifth story. Yesterday, staff at Independence National Historical Park dismantled an exhibit on George Washington's slave ownership. The informational panels included details about the lives of those who Washington enslaved and the broader history of slavery. It had been on display at the President's House site, where George Washington lived as president. President Trump signed an executive order last year, which he called Restoring Truth and Sanity to American History. Ever since, the Park Service has been removing information on historic racism, sexism, LGBT rights, slavery, and climate change. Sinners broke the record for the most Oscar nominations. That's number 6. Ryan Coogler's box office smashing vampire film Sinners broke yet another record yesterday when it landed 16 Oscar nominations. That's 2 more than the previous record, which was held by All About Eve, Titanic, and La La Land. Following close behind, Paul Thomas Anderson's action-packed thriller One Battle After Another racked up 13 nominations. Marty Supreme, Frankenstein, Sentimental Value, and Hamnet also picked up a number of nods. But for Wicked fans, it was another story. Last year, the musical's first part got 10 nominations. This year, Wicked for Good was entirely snubbed. You can see a full list of nominees and all of our analysis in our newsletter today. The Oscars ceremony airs March 15th on ABC and YouTube. And at number 7, a 14-day exercise could help you feel more hopeful this winter. Winter can be a demoralizing time for many of us. Post columnist Dana Milbank used to spend the season counting down the days until springtime. But this year, he decided to take a different approach. He's doing an exercise known as the Noticing Nature Intervention, developed by researcher Holly Ann Passmore. It's a plan in which people try to observe one thing in nature every day for 14 days straight and write about how it makes them feel. Those who completed it were 68% more likely than a control group to report above-average levels of satisfaction with life. Feeling more connected to nature can also help you feel more confident pursuing your goals, and more hopeful, even in winter. If you decide to give it a try, email me and tell me if it worked. Are you more hopeful? Is life better? Whatever you do, don't forget to wrap up warm. That's the show for this week. The associate producer of The Seven is Taylor White. The staff writers are Jamie Ross, Izan Akabau, and me. Special thanks to Rennie Svirnovsky. John Taylor is our editor. Additional editing by Christina Quinn. Copy editing by Melissa No and Thomas Haliba. Mixing and sound design is by Jim Briggs and Justin Garish. Our theme music is by Edith Mudge. I'm Hannah Jewell. Thanks for listening and have a great weekend. I'll meet you back here on Monday.